Welcome to Tamer Bowling Video Ball Reviews. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on YouTube and Patreon. Check out our partner Pureit Bowling at pureitbowling.com. Welcome back, everybody. We are back with another episode of Tamer's Favorites. Today I want to talk about the 2018-2019 favorite solid asymmetric balls. I was at first thinking I don't throw too many solid asymmetric balls, but when I do, okay, I wasn't going to do this Dos Equis thing, but here we go. So let's jump in. Again, this is my personal favorite list. It's subjective. Don't care what anyone thinks. This is my personal opinion. If you want the objective technical reviews, go ahead and watch our original reviews. But these are what work for me. All right, number 5. Number 5 is the hammer statement. This is a new entry, and it could be hard to make a top 5 list when you're pretty new. But to be honest, I like the reaction so much early that when I compared it to what else I've thrown, it really wasn't hard to pick up this slot. It's obviously strong. In fact, the strongest ball in my top 5. And it's really strong in the mid lane, still packs a punch, big punch down lane going through the pins. I'm really looking forward to throwing this more on high volume sport shots. I love when a ball overwhelms a pattern because when you see shape, you relax and you just throw it better. Okay, number 4. Number 4 is a different ball, a different type of ball. It is the Ebonite Matrix Solid. This one is a little incognito, but if you want to see what it can do, all you have to do is watch Jordan Richard on the PWBA and Dom Barrett in the PBA roll it. It covers medium to medium high volume patterns and certainly less ball than the statement, for example, but also more usable. The bottom line is it shapes. That's to me the important thing with this ball. It's usable and it shapes, and again, that's key. It definitely turns over. I love seeing that. I feel like this ball just doesn't get much attention, but it's a sleeper, folks. All right, so number 3 is another Ebonite International product. It is the Track Tactics. So the EBI family just continues to march on in my top 5 solid asyms. And I feel like this is another sleeper out there, but the Tactics is a phenomenal ball. It's I would say second tier strength compared to the statement, for example. It's a mild asym like the Matrix, but shapes very differently from the Matrix. It starts early and rolls heavy, but very versatile. So this is almost like that earlier hook set type motion. You can swing the lane with it, while typically this type of roll can struggle covering lots of boards, but I prefer not to, just because of that hook set motion. I want to take advantage of that heavier, more direct, heavier roll, which is better to use more direct. And that's what makes it special. I mean, it's really control and trust. Honestly, I love the baby blue color as well. And I'm a bit nostalgic like that. So number 3, the Track Tactics. Okay, we're getting towards the top. And this is the first one that is not an Ebonite family ball. This is the Motive Villain. This was a tough one for me because there's a bit of a toss-up between the number 1 and number 2. This ball has been phenomenal for me. The cover is a solid middle of the road strength, which means it's much more usable than your heavy oilers. Plus, having a solid for me from the left side gave me a consistent motion, smoothing out that typical fresh over-under where you see the cliff on house shots. I did score huge when throwing this ball on house for a while. I trusted it completely and was essentially a stalwart for me in my bag. So number 2 is the Motive Villain. All right, so we're finally at number 1. Any guesses? Well, it is another Motive ball, and it's the Motive Jackal Ghost. As I'd mentioned, this was a bit of a toss-up, but finally I had to give the top slot to the Ghost. This ball was usable on house, even though it's way stronger than the villain. It forced me deep, but I still carried. So I had no reason not to just use it. It worked on high volume sport shots as well. Took surface adjustments well. It worked on short patterns. It just worked. I really wore this ball out. Really thoroughly enjoyed tossing the Jackal Ghost, and that's what made it my #1 slot. Alright, so there you have it. Tamer's favorite 2018-2019 solid asymmetric balls. There's some pretty good balls that all have different characteristics and made the top 5 for different reasons. But ultimately, all 5 of these balls are really, personally, my top solid asymmetrics for this bowling season. Hope you enjoyed watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, or join us on Patreon.